Hey, hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today. I'm here, I've made it. I'm just getting comfortable, so just give me a second. I'm just sitting on my my massage table. I have some tea, so it's going to be a good one. How are you all going? How's your week going? What's been happening with all of you out there in the world? It's nice to connect and it's nice to be here. I'm just grounding myself because it's going to be a heavy video today, I think. I don't know. I never know. It's kind of like whatever comes out, and that's okay. You know, it's all good. Firstly, I'll say thank you for making the effort and supporting me as a self-published artist and a mystic. If you're out there and you know about my work, it means so much to me that people out there support me and follow me and trust me with the questions and trust me that I'm going to give my honest, heartfelt answers to you. So thank you. I have a few notes today. You've probably seen the topic at hand that we're going to get into. It's going to be a heavy one. So I thought I would do like a short of, like 3 notes, but no, it turned out to be like 11 pages of this in this bitch. So, so much to talk about and so much to do. So I am talking today about narcissists, and I'm talking about narcissism specifically. So I think narcissism, just off the bat, is really at an all-time high. It really is out there in the world right now. I think we can definitely feel that. We can see that with social media and people kind of propping themselves up in a way where they have to feel pressured to always look perfect, be fabulous, be something that they isn't really necessarily in alignment with who they are. So I think that level of behavior is kind of encouraged, and we're all kind of competing with each other for attention on the marketplace of Instagram and social media. So it is at an all-time high. But today I'm not talking about basic narcissism. I'm going to be talking about COVID narcissism and my experiences with it. So if you know a little bit about me, yes, I'm into psychology. At one point, I wanted to be a psychologist. And I've also had a lot of experience just out there living life, dealing with all of the menagerie and myriad of just absolute fuckery that's out there. Lots of psychopaths in my life, lots of narcissists in my life, lots of sadists in my life. I've seen it all. I've been around a long time. And everything that I say in this video with my notes today, I want you to know that this is not something that I've read. This is something that I have come to through my own conclusions, through living it and being in it and seeing it. And so straight off the bat, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. If you find my videos insightful and you find them interesting, then please support me. Hit the subscribe button below, give it a like, and I'd love to see a comment below. If you have something that you'd like to share, I'd love to read the comments. I really enjoy that people out there engage with me. It makes me feel seen and it brings a level of value to me, or I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just keep on going with this. I don't know where it's going, but it's going somewhere. And lately I've been really busy working with my kids book series that I'm illustrating, that I wrote. And it was just a couple of weeks ago, the other week, that I actually had another book dropped into my head, into my crazy ass, and it came in really quickly, and it really kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, whoa, okay. So within 20 minutes, I had to ride that wave. If you're a fellow creative, then you probably know it's kind of like surfing a little bit. You have kind of waiting for a wave to come along, the wave of inspiration. And then something comes along and you're like, and you get on that wave, and yeah, it's like a high. It's like being on drugs. And so a new book has also dropped in after this book. But for those of you that ask me about my book, I am 6 panels left to go. When I say panel, sorry, my nose is a bit running. It's spring season here in Melbourne, Australia. When I say panel, I'm referring to a page. So that's a panel. So one panel could take me about 2 or 3 weeks to draw or illustrate, and then the next panel drops in. So I'm 6 panels away from the final of finishing the book, and it is a 56-page book. So there's a lot of illustrations, and then I'm going to start adding text. So that's where I'm at now for the update. And if you want to go to my Instagram, you can see all of the pages that I have done, or some of the pages that I've done. I don't want to share everything. I want it to be a surprise. I want people when they open the book and they're like, oh, that's all the, so yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at with my book. That's where I'm at with my panel. And I wrote another book in 25 minutes about a mermaid. It's called Mermaids Don't Cry, which is also dealing with sadness. A lot of my books deal with emotions, or a lot of the concepts that I talk about are very, what I would call conscious or woke. Like woke is not in some wokey term, but in being aware of your behavior, being aware of how you impact other people, that kind of thing. I think it's really important. I think a lot of this stuff is not taught in school, and it really, it upsets me. That's why I'm doing these books. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the topic now. Narcissists. Okay. Where would I even start? I would say if you think that you're out there in the world right now and you don't have any narcissists around you, you are severely mistaken. They are everywhere. The school teacher, the uni lecturer, maybe even your own mother. And I would probably end up doing a video on narcissistic parents, because that's like a whole video in itself, really. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on them and then share some tips on them. I have a couple in my life. Sometimes we can't get out of it. Sometimes we are trapped. And that's exactly what a narcissist wants from you. They want to trap you. They want to keep you underneath them. Okay, this is a very dangerous situation. And if you're out there now and if you're listening to me, please look into my eyes. I believe you. I see you and I understand what you are going through. Okay, now you've got to play it careful. You've got to be very, very careful with the narcissist, because when I say survivor, when I talk about a narcissist, a lot of people don't actually survive. Okay, a lot of people end up dead. Okay, I'm being serious here. All right, so narcissists don't have friends. Okay, they don't really have real friends. They wouldn't even know how to have a real friend. They have what I would say is like a prop, or they have like a mask that they wear, which is like an illusion. And they need people around them to support that illusion. Okay, so if you're around them, you can't actually have a relationship with a narc or a narcissist unless you serve the narcissist a supply point or a function. Now I'm going to explain that. So narcissists by definition can't generate their own energy. They can't generate light out into the world. They cannot generate light out into the world. It's not possible. They have to piggyback or create scenarios of drama or suck life energy, or what we would call vata, out of other people. They are not capable of creating that supply point for themselves. So all of the relationships that they create with other people are always based in a place of the narcissist asserting themselves over the other person, creating drama, creating a supply point, and then moving on to the other person. Now, when I say the other person, I'm going to say supply point. So a narcissist will have multiple. Now, I want to get that clear. Narcissists have multiple supply points, and they must have them, because that's how a narcissist survives. Okay. Now, you don't know much about them. They don't share their vulnerability. Narcissists will refuse to get deep with you. They never talk about anything deep. When you meet a narcissist, they become very fixated on you. They're always focused on you and trying to understand your psychology and kind of like, tell me more about your life and tell me more about your childhood. Tell me more about everything. I want to know all about you. They want to know all about you, but you know fuck all about them. They're very guarded in that regard. They stay right back. They're not going to share their secrets with you. They're not going to share their childhood trauma. A lot of them can't actually be vulnerable. They're virtueless. Okay, there's no virtue. Without virtue, you actually can't have love. So they can't create love. They can't make love. They can't get real love. It's all like an actor. It's like playing a character. Like that's what it is. Some of them are aware of this. That's more in the psychopath territory, and some of them are completely unaware of it. Like a lot of people that are toxic, they don't know they're toxic. They think they're fine. But you know. And you can see it. Okay? So what happens is they come into your life, and I like that this is actually getting more talked about now in the community or in the world now. People are starting to catch the fuck on. They're starting to see that they come into your life very intensely. Okay, now I'm speaking of something that really fucked me up hard. Okay, this person came into my life and they love bomb you. They make you feel like you are the one, like you are amazing. They make you feel like this kind of, they come in really hard, and this is how they, what we call, get you on the hook. So they get you on the hook. That means that they've trapped you, or they get you in a place where you let your guard down. You think that this person is the real deal. You think that this is like everything that you thought a partner could be, and how they make you feel is real. And this is what they do to get you on the hook. Now, on the hook means after they feel that they've done the appropriate amount, laid that appropriate amount of groundwork down with you, so that you feel like they feel that you've fallen, or they think that you've fallen in love with them. They will hold that for a while, and then in comes the devaluation. Okay? So it's mass amounts of idolization and pulling you in close and getting to know you and making you feel amazing and really trying to get inside your head. Now, I need you to understand from my point of view, they don't love you. They never loved you. Okay, they never did. What you fell in love with a narcissist is actually the reflection or the mirror of the projection of what they wanted to show you back to you. All right, so you kind of fell in love with yourself in their eyes. You didn't fall in love with them because you don't know anything about them. They don't share anything about themselves, like ever. Okay? Now, I need you to understand something. If you're coming out of a relationship with a narcissist, the narcissist would have had other supply points other than you. So you weren't the only one. They are not capable of a stable, loving, caring, healthy relationship. The narcissist will always want the relationship to be open. So there's always other options. Now, I'm aggressively real about this, and I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to get a little bit deep, but I'm just going to go there. The moment I date someone and they say they wanted to be an open relationship, bye, I'm out the door. I'm gone, okay? This whole thing of commitment phobia is completely a myth. You can't live in this world and not be committed to something. I eat food to live. That's commitment. I breathe in oxygen. Commitment. Do you get where I'm going with this? Do you get it? There's no such thing as commitment phobia, only fear of loss of options. So if you're in a relationship and that person wants it to be open, you actually don't have a real relationship. Because if other people can share what you have with what they have with you, it's just another form of manipulation. Okay? Now, with a narcissist in context to an open relationship, humans by nature are what we call hypergamous. So if you don't know what hypergamy is, I'm just going to give it to you really simply, cut it really simply. Hypergamy is that we're always looking for the better option. Humans or women and men, we date up, we don't date down, okay? So if you give someone an open relationship and you say, this is what I want, first of all, I mean, is it really like going to be hot to have like 10 guys or a few guys or a few, run a train on your partner? Is that safe? Like with STIs? Like there's so many factors involved in that it's actually a little bit overwhelming. Okay, so what I do in my relationships, we shut the doors and we close the windows. Okay, because we're working on building something that is real, that can last. And you cannot prolong something or sustain something that isn't real. And it's so important that people understand what is real and what is not real. Because something that is not real, it can't last. Okay? Now, in relation to a narcissist, it's highly unlikely that they'd probably want what we'd call off the hook. So they want you on the hook. So you're their partner, you're not allowed to go and have sex with other people. You're not allowed to see other people because they want to control every aspect of your life. But they are allowed to go do whatever they want. They're allowed to be on the apps. They're allowed to be on hookup apps. They always have an excuse. Okay, in terms of relationships, they always keep you where they need you. And it's always going to be about them. It's always about their terms. When they're horny, when they're coming home from the gym, when it's convenient for them. Okay, so I hope that made sense. How the narcissist sees you, it's actually a little bit funny. The narcissist sees you as a doll, okay? You're a doll. And like a toy or a doll, they only want to play with you when they want to, okay? You are not their equal, okay? And you never will be, and you never were. You are down here with a narcissist. It was never a relationship-based inequality. That's why a narcissist hates competition. They have to feel that they're superior. That's why in general in life, a lot of narcissistic people are always attracted to virtue signaling. They love it. They love being the teacher because the student-teacher relationship is not a relationship-based inequality because one is sitting higher than the other, okay? Even a cop, a lawyer. By the way, lawyers would be totally narcissistic by nature because it's all about arguing and that the fire and the energy and the exchange of that interaction is quite exciting to a narcissist. They love drama because that creates another supply point. Okay, so I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, well, kind of, but I'm being honest with you. So the narcissist doesn't love you. You'll never know who they are. They're never going to be vulnerable with you. They share very, very little about themselves. Okay, that's because they want to know all about you, but if you know anything about them, you could use that against them. And much like people with the borderline personality, with the psychosis, and a lot of other very serious mental health conditions, you'll see that their whole life is really just stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Nothing lasted more than like a couple of months to a year or a couple of years. And then it just fades away and then something else comes on. They go from job to job to job to job. So, and they know that. They know that doesn't look well. Like, it's like, oh, hey, I've just been like, a roller coaster isn't stable. Okay, they're not stable. But they manipulate everyone around themselves. Everyone around the narcissist will be manipulated by the narc, okay? They love to insert themselves into other people's lives and assert themselves in a way where the other person is dependent to them, okay? So they do not want you to be independent. They want you to be dependent to them. Now, in a relationship, in a marriage, one that's really quite common, is financial control. They will be like, no, you don't have to work. Don't have to work. You just stay home and take care of the house. I'll bring home the bacon and you cook the bacon kind of thing. This is actually very dangerous. That's actually one of the biggest red flags I could say right now. Financial control is also another tactic that the narcissist will use to control you. They're going to disempower you because your survival or your living is completely dependent on their financial ability to generate income. So if you're not able to generate your own income, you're not able to support yourself outside of the dynamic. It's a trap. Run. I'm telling you, it's like lines that you might hear a narcissist say, and I don't care whether it's like in jest or it's passing comment or a joke, could be something like, I made you, I own you. They'd buy a house for you and lend you all of this money, knowing that you probably could never pay it all back. That's why they did it, because they know that you can't. That way you're always going to be bound to them and their bullshit, okay? And when you're around them, pay attention to how they make you feel. You feel sick. You feel like when the phone rings, it's like being on eggshells. It's like, oh, fuck. Like that is scary. It's horrible. You hate who you are when you're around them. You hate listening to their bullshit. And with the narcissist, they never talk about how they feel in that regard. They're always using variables, extraneous variables, always around them. But they never talk about what's going on in here, ever. Because they're empty inside. They have nothing. They are hollow. Okay? So I hope all of this is making sense. I'll have some more tea. I hope I'm getting a bit intense, but this is the truth. So they find the supply point. They target the supply, which is you as the victim. And by the way, I don't like using that word, but if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you are the victim. Okay, and this will fuck you up so hard. I feel like this should be taught in primary school. I feel like this should be taught just in like everyday life, because I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere I look. Okay, so with a narcissist, they love to ghost as well. So they pull you in, make you feel that they love you, make you feel secure, and then they reject you, or they push you away, or they don't reply to your messages, they cut you off. They always keep you at an arm's length. Now, with a breakup with a narcissist, generally they don't like to initiate the breakup, because they like to kind of keep it in this kind of aloof, kind of open state where did we break up? Like, what happened here? So you're always they like to keep you off balance. So you're always like confused. Like, are we broken up? I don't know. That kind of aloof state, back again with the open relationship thing where we're not defining something. By the way, when we don't define something, there's nothing stable to build on that. Okay? I'm being so honest here. Like if I said to you, today I'm a Fred, I'm an animal. Today I'm a lizard. Tomorrow I'm a bicycle pump. Tomorrow I'm a chair. If I can't own what I am right now, how can you interact with me in a way that makes me accountable for my behavior? When I can just change the narrative in my head and make up some shit and then enforce that on you. You can't. And they're not interested in resolution. So narcissists are not interested in resolution. You are not going to get resolution with a narcissist. They will gaslight you. So if you come to them and say, hey, you said this to me. Hey, you gave me this fake number. Hey, you did this to me. I didn't do that. It's all in your head. Gaslight the shit out of you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to make you question the nature of your thought process. They're going to make you question the nature of your reality. Because if they can control the reality in your head, they can effectively control you more easier. All right? So you're not going to get a logical conversation out of them. These guys are super aggressive. The narc will blow up. It's like living in a war zone. It is. It's like being in a war zone. Every step that you take could be a bomb that could blow up under your feet. Like if there's topics that you can't bring up because they'll just explode. You've got to agree with everything that they say. If you don't agree with what they say, they get mad. Even sometimes in some situations, you'll even repeat what the narc just said, and then they'll get mad when you just repeated what the fuck they just said. Like it's a walking, talking contradiction. They're hypocrites, total hypocrites. Narcs are hypocrites. That's one word I want to make that clear in this video. It's do as I say, not as I do. So the narc is really saying the rules that you have to follow, that society has to follow, doesn't apply to me. You have to be loyal to me, but I'm allowed to fuck anyone that I want. Okay? And I'm going to get away with it. Yeah? Do you get it? I hope this is making sense. Okay? So they feed off others. Now, I'm going to talk about sexual marketplace value. So this is going to get a little bit heavy. And this is another thing that psychologists, I don't see people talking about enough. So I'm just going to go there. Okay? Most, if not all, human interaction is based off something called SMV. Okay? Sexual marketplace value. All right? It doesn't matter what the engagement is. Say if it was me going down to the gas station to get fuel, and I went up to the checkout and there was a woman standing there. She is reading me and I'm reading her. That's what's happening in this engagement. It's kind of programmed like hypergamy. We're programmed to read the other person and then assess the other person as, where's their sexual marketplace value? Is it higher than mine? Is mine lower than theirs? This is how human dynamics work. Okay? In modern day society, generally with an older man, is that he would be what we would have like now, what do they call it? There's always some fad or some shit they make up. Daddy, like a daddy issue, like a daddy stuff. So we know that would be an older man who's probably had time to acquire financial gain or he's had more, because he's older, so he's had more time to make more money. And that money can be exchanged for someone in higher sexual marketplace value. So someone who's someone who is younger. So how it works really, particularly in the gay world or in some relationship dynamics, is that you have a girl that is younger and she is higher in sexual marketplace value, and she'll go for an older man, and he'll exchange that monetary gain of money for the relationship dynamic. So when you see a lot of young girls in sports cars with older men, that's what's going on here. I'm just being honest, all right? So narcs tend to want to be the one in control of the dynamic. So they'll hang that over the other person's head, usually by acquiring property or a car or a loan or paying uni bills. But yeah, it can't last long term, because what happens is eventually the young boy or the young girl grows up, and then they have the dynamic of that power exchange collapses, because they've become more independent, they're able to pay their bills, they've got educated, they got a job, and now the pillars that held that up collapse. So that's another big thing that narcissists will go for. So they're always playing short-term games, because no relationship that they can acquire can last long without it going into some kind of like open relationship or some shit. Okay, so I hope that made sense. And they will lead you to suicide, by the way. A narcissist or a psychopath would be like the person that leads you to suicide, and then they'll end up at the funeral going, I can't believe that this happened. Oh, it's just so bad and sad. When they themselves are the one that did it, okay? There's no empathy here. There's no compassion here. That's why when I meet someone and you don't have any empathy and you don't have any compassion, I'm out. No emotional intelligence. It's completely unworkable, and it's actually quite dangerous. But that's how they are. So they disengage, so they ghost you, and then they wheel you back in. So even after they've ghosted you and it's been years, which is what's happened to me, they'll ghost you, and then you're like, it's hard because you can't you can't get resolution with them because you can't include them in the resolution to get the resolution. So if it's a love interest and suddenly you don't hear from them and they just told you that they loved you or they were courting you, it's so confusing, and it's so fucking cruel to do that to a person, because they're not giving you closure where you can go, okay, it's over. They weren't into me. Yep, totally get it. I understand, no problem. They're never going to do that. They keep you in a place where you're always thinking of them. They keep you in a place where, because you don't know, that takes up mental energy, and it really can fuck with your head. So even after the relationship's over, you're still kind of like bound to them. You're still thinking about them. You're still basically owned by them. And they know that. That's why they're doing it. Okay. And they like to always keep you in the background so that you could always be a potential option later. Get that. Okay. They see life as a game or like a chess piece, like a lawyer. Like it's about winning, and they will win at all costs. They fight dirty. Narcissists will go to any level to get anything that they want. Okay. And by the way, once they get it, it's always about the chase with a narcissist. Once they get it, they just go on to the next thing. It's not about having someone close to you and holding them every night and kissing them and loving them. That's not what they're into. They're interested in the chase. Then they acquire the fuck, and then they can put that little notch on their belt or that little cross, that tick on their list, and then they're on to the next one. It's just always about the next thing, the next best thing. It's always about the next best thing. Yeah. So they'll tap you, they'll message you afterwards. Hey, like on Facebook usually, or on Instagram, or on like Grindr or Scruff or Tinder or Greatest, whatever fucking app, it doesn't matter. It could be a couple of years afterwards and you haven't heard from them in a long time. Out of nowhere, they'll pop up and they'll be like, hey, how you doing? Just saying hi, how have you been? We should catch up, Don't take the bait. They're just wheeling you back in. Have some self-respect. By the way, if you're going to take anything out of this video, the best thing you can do from the narcissist is get an exit strategy and get the fuck out of there. Because once you're out of there, when I say out of there, I mean ghost them. Do not respond to their messages. Do not respond to their DMs. Do not let them into your life. They are not worthy of your time. They don't deserve you. They're only going to use that opportunity to manipulate you. That's why they're being nice to you, because they're trying to get you back in the hook. They're trying to get you on that hook again. Don't take the bait. They don't care about how they make you feel after they discard you. They don't care. You're a toy. You're a doll. And as such, after they're done playing with you, you have to go back into your box and disappear again for a while. Out of sight, out of mind for them. Yeah, until the urge strikes again. And then they'll message you again and be all nice and sweet to you. Don't take it. Okay, it's not worth it. It'll fuck you up. It's just another form of manipulation. They spin everything back onto you. Okay, so say for example, these guys are not capable of deep self-reflection. It's not going to happen. So what they will do is the moment that you say their behavior back to them, they spin it back on you. So they'll use shame and devaluation back on you so that it's all in your head. And you did that. You're the narcissist. They'll push it back onto you. Like if you tell them how you felt based on how they treated you, they will just put it back onto you and say, you're the narcissist. How narcissistic of you to say that to me. Gaslighting, okay? Yeah, they never truly loved you. They love bomb you and then they devalue you, okay? That's the main thing I want you to get in your head. They're pathological liars. Narcissists are pathological liars. They're always manipulating the truth. Everything, a truth could be a lie and a lie could be a truth. Like I said, they like to keep you off balance so you never really know where you stand with them, because it's another tactic for them to control you, okay? So they'll make you question yourself. They'll make you kind of like doubt yourself. it's all about the devaluation. You're like a piece of furniture to them, okay? They don't take your best interest. And if they do, by the way, a lot of narcissists work for non-for-profit organizations, or they work for something in the community that's seen as about building people up and helping people and fixing people and stuff like that. It's all a complete waste of time. They're doing it for virtue signaling, okay? Their heart is, they don't have a heart. They don't have empathy or compassion. They don't care. They're doing it so everyone in the community can see, hey, aren't I a good person? Aren't I good? And if they do have a little bit of doubt and a little bit of guilt and shame for their behavior of how they use and hurt and fuck other people up for fun, it's like, well, I'm doing this job, so everything just, it all comes out in the wash in the end. It makes me look good. Priests, cops, school teachers, anyone that's in a higher place of level of society, that's where the narcissists are. They love to be seen as the hero. They hide, because they're virtueless, they like to hide in places that make them appear to be virtue-based. Okay, don't take the bait. Okay, I know a lot of people, they'll end up in HR or they're out helping people. Human resources, like they don't care about humans. They don't even understand emotions. It's all a lie. Okay, get that. And they have you on rotation as well, like I mentioned before. You're not going to be the only one. So there's quite a few people that what they'll do, they'll have, when they realize that the supply point is coming to an end, they'll go find another supply point that will become basically like a new doll, or someone who will kind of, they like yes people. Okay, so that's why narcissists don't work so well on me, because I am not a yes man. Okay, I'm going to call you out on it every single time you're dishonest with me, every single time you're dishonest with yourself. I'm going to tell you, and they don't like that. They run from that. With going through all of these relationships that I've gone through and having dealt with this firsthand on so many time and time again, is that it becomes a lot more easier to pick what is real and who is being genuine and who is not genuine. And the moment that I see it, I'm out. I distance myself and I pull away really quick, if you can, okay? And then they might see that as a chase, and that's something that they'll like pursue. So that could also be a problem as well. But you were never the only one. And whoever else, get this, if you're listening now, please get this. Whoever they get next, whoever they go on to next, that other poor bastard, that other poor unfortunate soul is only going to get what you got. An asshole. They're not going to get another version. The version that you fell in love with the narcissist is the projection that they wanted you to see. It's not who they really are. It's a lie. They mirror back what they think you want back to you. That's how they get you on the hook. Yeah, so they'll trap you. They'll financially trap the shit out of you. It's really about propping you up. So propping them up. So they'll have friends. Their friends will be fakers. A lot of their friends are also quite fake. Is that they'll have like dinner parties, or they want to go to like luncheon events or charity events or anything like that, where they appear to be wonderful and fabulous, and the other people around them will prop them up. So it's like always agreeing with everything that they say and always serving a service to the narc. So it's kind of like, it's all fake. It's all make-believe. They don't go deep. Okay, like having deep conversations about the heart and how you feel, sharing their vulnerabilities, they're not going to do that. They share nothing with you. That's what I was saying earlier before. You'll never know who they are. They don't even know who they are. They've got not a clue. It's kind of like a darker side of the Gemini, where the Gemini will watch movies on TV and then want to be the person in the movies. And it's just playing a character until they get fascinated with another character and they play another character. But around them, you never know who they are, because they don't know who they are. They haven't got a clue. Yeah. Usually a narcissist will be the person that will say stuff like, if I ever see bullying in the workplace, I'll be the first to eradicate it. But yet everyone's kind of looking at each other going, you're actually the biggest bully. Also, another really common line that I used to get a lot when I was working in back in the day, I was working in office jobs, is that the narc will say, you know, if you ever need me, I'm here for you. My door's always open. And it's like, no one would ever go to your door. You're actually the problem. You're the problem that no one would come to. We're not going to come to your door because you're the problem. Yeah? Yeah, so you've got to agree with everything they say. They'll be furious with you if you don't. And they're always grooming a new supply point. There's always someone new to come in to replace you. Everybody's replaceable. Yeah? They're terrible. Narcissistic parents are terrible. They don't really co-parent at all. It's really about their needs coming before the family. So it's all about them always appearing to look good, appearing to be the perfect dad. But as far as like doing the heavy duty part of parenting, like changing nappies, cleaning, cooking, raising kids, they're nowhere to be found. Forget it. Forget it. They'd rather be down the pub, drinking drugs, alcohol, watching porn, having really hardcore sex. Narcissists love really hardcore sex as well. It's a power play. So usually for narcissistic men, it's really like all about degrading the other person. Like, yeah, I don't come across, you can't really be a sub and a narcissist. I don't really see that so much. They're more like doms. So it's more about like, you're just a piece of shit that they come and use and discard when they're done, like a cum dumpster or like a footstool or a piece of furniture. You know, that's how they see you. And for some really mentally unstable people that have such low sense of self love, they actually see being raped or being used as affection. So yeah. So if you're a survivor and you got out of the relationship and you've been able to, you probably already know everything I've said. Good on you. I just need a minute. Like, I need to just say that good on you. You did it. Because a lot of people don't survive this. Okay, they really don't. And a lot of people are not believed because the narcissist, if they can't control you and they lose control of you, what they'll do is they'll control how other people see you. So they'll do like a smear campaign where they tell other people about all of making up shit and embellishing shit and making you to be the villain. So that they get sympathy. It's just another covert narcissism does that a lot. They're always the victim. It's always my life. It's always someone else's fault. Yeah, it's just another form of control. That's all they do is just feed off each other, feed off other people. Yeah, the smear campaign. Yeah, and the truth is always blurred. There's no truth. Okay, nothing is true. One of the things that I would say as a bit of advice would be be careful before I tell you to do this. If you haven't already started doing it and you've got an exit strategy and you've got a narcissist in your life, start moving in that direction of knowing how you're going to get out of it, how you're going to get enough money to get out of that, how can you get the kids out of that. You've got, this is a slow process. It's not something that you can just flick a switch, because usually the narc would have probably disabled you and beaten you down so much that you don't have a very strong sense of self. They probably isolated you, so you don't have a support system. You don't have friends. You don't have family. They divide and conquer, really. So if you're out there now and you're listening to this video, I hope that this has helped you. Because I understand, I see you. You are seen and you are not alone. Please believe that, all right? You're not alone and it's not all in your head. One of the tactics that I would do, that I have done before, is I record them. I diarize the abuse, okay? So you screenshot it and you get them to send the abuse how they interact with you in a way that you're able to capture that. If you're able to record it, is a really, really good strategy. If you're able to film it, because one of the things that'll happen is after you've gotten out, they will try and gaslight you like it's all in your head. And then you can do one of my favorite lines, which I'm going to do right now, which is this. If you're watching, watch this. Please don't try and manipulate the truth of what actually happened in the events. I know. I was there. And I have proof on the old iPad. I have proof. I have screenshots of the times that you abused me. I have it right here, okay? That's how you do it. Gotcha. Get smart with this, okay? Get smart with it. Diarize the shit out of it. This will help you build up a story, and it will keep you safe. Because once you have proof, they like, even with all of the proof right in their fucking face, they'll still try and be like, it's all in your head. That is better than nothing, okay? Because they will do that. One of the things that I do as well with a narcissist is when they're talking to me, I give them this. I don't even give them eye contact. And the narcissist hates that because they need other people to believe their lies. They need other people to believe their manipulation. When you don't give them that attention, when you don't give them that focus, they have nothing. They can't do anything with it. I'll be like this. Don't even engage. I don't look at it. I don't respond to it. I don't engage it. Doesn't even exist. No supply point here for you. Nothing. I've got nothing to give you. Nothing. Okay. Okay. So after your life with them is finished and you've moved on, the narcissist will stalk you. They are stalkers, all right? Hardcore stalkers, right? Even if you've blocked them across social media or you've blocked them on Facebook or you've blocked them on Instagram, they will set up another account or they'll stalk you through another person's account to get to your account. They're very resourceful in that way. They're very crafty, so they'll always be looking at ways that they can see what you're up to. And if they look into your life and see that you are actually doing better than they are, oh, you will never hear the end of it. They will lose their fucking mind. Because as far as they're concerned, you were just so lucky to have them in your life. And for you, they're like the sun, and everything evolves around that. And for you to go off in your life and pursue excellence and have the time and due diligence to do the hard work to actually improve your life, and they're not a part of it, and you're out there kicking goals, it sends the narcissist into an existential crisis because every bit of power that they thought they had over you is gone. And there's proof of that because you're out there doing it, okay? You're out there fucking doing it. You're kicking goals without them. You're actually doing way better without them than you ever, it goes without saying, but you're out there doing so much better than you could have ever have done with them in their life, with them in your life. And they would hate that. It's like stabbing them in the heart. Oh, they don't really have a heart, but yeah, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. You cut them off and you don't engage. It's like a spider in a glass jar. There's nothing for the spider to grab onto, so it can't climb up the jar. Yeah? The energy that the narcissist got was the energy that we gave them based on the lies and manipulation of how they manipulated us to begin with. Okay? So that's the truth. I know it's hard to hear. And then after this is done, you probably need therapy. You probably need to go see someone. You're going to need some psychological help. And my best advice post-narcissist would be, if you could go to a psychologist or a counselor that really understands what I have just talked about. If you go into them, bring this video and say, get the psychologist or the counselor to watch this video right now. Because if they're not qualified, if they don't have look, cut it really simply. There's a big difference between book experience and life experience. Reading about something in a book is not the same as living it and going through the fire of this experience of dealing with these individuals. So if you've met or if you've got a counselor or a psychologist, I don't care what it is, and they don't have the common sense of the knowledge of what I've just shared with you, and I've kept it pretty basic. I could go even deeper than this, but I'm keeping it really PG rated and simple here for the video on YouTube, but you need them to know what the fuck they are doing, okay? Because they're not going to help you if they don't understand the psychology of how these individuals work. It's not going to happen. All right. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much. I know this has been, it's been so intense talking about narcissists. It's been fascinating. I've enjoyed it. I drank all my tea, chatting away. I know it's been a little while since I did a video. I've been working like a psychopath to make my dreams become a reality. So I'm going to get this video uploaded and I hope that you are well. I do respond to DMs. So if you want to reach out to me, I may not be available all the time, but I will honor that and say, hey, what's up? How you going? What's happening with you? I care. Look, I give a fuck. Okay. So if you want to reach out to me and say hello. I'm around, I'm available, or I try to be as much as I can. I do have a lot on my plate, but yeah. This was a heavy video on, well, I feel like it's quite heavy, on narcissism, dealing with these people, giving you some tips and tricks. Don't take the bait. I've said that a million times. I've said it 100 times in this video. Don't take the bait. It is a trap, okay? You won't win. You can't win with someone like this. They'll just, whatever they did to you, they just twist it back onto you. These are twisted and sick individuals, okay? It's almost like when I look at them, it's almost like a write-off. They'll never taste real love. Never. No, they wouldn't know how to love. But you do. So stay positive and stay strong and be strong in the darkness. Okay? I'm sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. All my love your way. Okay. Bye. Bye.